Welcome once again to Humanist TV Africa. This is Kato Mukasa, your host, and in the studio today is Brian Kabeko, who is based in Uganda. Of course, my name is Kato Mukasa. I'm a human rights lawyer and advocate, and of course, I'm passionate about issues human rights, and this is Human Rights program. The program is called Human Rights Watch. The program is called Human Rights Watch, and this is African Humanist TV, or Humanist TV Africa, right here where we reach you where you are. Please, I encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our Facebook page is Humanist TV Africa. Our YouTube channel is Humanist TV Africa. I want to encourage you to do subscribe on that channel so that I can be able to see all of our videos every day, every hour, every minute. We are dropping a video each day on this channel. So I encourage you to please follow, subscribe, like, and share so that you can take this news everywhere. We are humanists. We are Humanist TV Africa. We are based in Africa and we are based outside Africa. Broadcasting right from the United Kingdom, and of course, my producer is Brian Kabeko today, who is producing this show based in Nairobi, Kenya. Welcome once again. This is Kato Mukasa, and this is Human Rights Watch, a program that happens here every time this day comes around. Now, today we are going to be discussing human rights, and I'm handling the issues in Gaza. Human Rights Watch, a case for Gaza. Now, I've been talking about Palestine. If all of you have been following me, I've been talking about Palestine. I've been talking about Israel. I remember I did give you a history of Israel. And I remember telling you that this country, we call Israel, was never there for thousands of years. This country was never there. There was a kingdom at one time of Israel and Palestine, and this kingdom was destroyed by so many warriors, so many empires, so many fighters destroyed the Israelites. And the last one I can remember who really demolished them was a Roman emperor called Adrian. A Roman emperor called Adrian, who destroyed Israel in AD 130. AD 130. Adrian destroyed Israel and wiped out the temple and killed so many Jews. And then they ran away in exile. They end up in Europe. Many of them ended up in Europe. A few of them went to Africa, but many of them ended up in Europe. And for thousands of years, the Jews were in Europe. Many of them ended up in the US. And of course, if someone has been staying in a place for 1,000 years, that person is a citizen. So many of these Jews, many of these Israelites, as citizens of the world, as citizens of Europe, as citizens of the US. In fact, many of the Jews, Israelites back in Israel, have double passports, have double citizenship, because they are Americans, they are Britons, they are Canadians, they are Germans, they are from all over the world. It's one nation that has citizens that belong to the entire world. That country is called Israel. It's a special country in a way because it has a very interesting history. Remember, I told you that Israel, Palestine sit on the same tectonic plate with Africa. I call it the Great Northeast Africa. That entire plate, I call it the Great Northeast Africa. It used to be called Ravante. That region used to be called Ravante. There was nothing like Middle East. Middle East is a colonial concoction, just like Africa is. There was nothing like Africa. The name Africa is from Africanus, an impositor who gave it to Africa. Now, the same Israel was destroyed AD 30, 130 by Adrian and so many others, and Israel went in exile. What happened thousands of years down the road? We see them being killed, over 6 million Jews being killed by Hitler, the Nazis of Germany. Killed over 6 million Jews. That was bad. I read history. As a student of history, I read history and shed tears when I saw how Israelis were killed in Sobiba, were killed in Germany, were killed by Hitler, were burnt like rats. 6 million Jews were killed by Hitler. Then after the World War, we see 1917, we see the Balfour Declaration, we see promises being made to the Jews, and fast forward 1948, 1947, we see the UN actually making a declaration that they are going to return them back because the rise of Zionism had taken sway. Zionism, the love for their own motherland. Zionism, the love to go back to home, the home they call the holy place, because it has the Temple Mount, it has the Wailing Wall, it has at Jerusalem, it has the Mountain of Olives, it has all these beautiful places, and it's a highly religious place. Some people call it holy. I don't call it holy because I don't believe in gods. I don't call Israel holy, but I know that many people call it holy. Remember, I told you sometime back that Israel comes from 3 gods: Isis, Ella, and Isis, Israel, and Ra. You know, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. These are gods. The whole country, the whole history is about gods and gods and gods. 3 gods making one. Remember, I told that the Jews, the Israelites, basically believe in Judaism. Remember, I told that the Jews basically don't believe in Jesus Christ. The Jews are not Christians. The Jews are very proud of their Judaism. That's why Muhammad terrorized them. That's why Islam terrorized them. That's why so many dictators, so many emperors destroyed them. In fact, Israelites worship, literally, in quotes, Israelites respect one leader, Silas the Great. They respect Silas the Great because Silas the Great at one time allowed them to go back to the promised land. Israelites respect one leader, Silas the Great, who was never a Jew, but allowed them to go back to their land until when the Romans came and destroyed them again. Now, Israel has got a history. From 1947, the UN makes a pronunciation to allow them to create a country which was cut from a territory that was owned by Britain. Palestine was a territory owned by Britain at one time after the war. So Britain, of course, owns that territory where Palestine was, and of course, they gave a gift to the Jews who were all over the world that please go back home because Zionism had taken sway. They wanted to go back home to their land, to their holy land, and they were right. Honestly, so because they belonged there. They belonged there. When you look at history, that's where they came from. They have a share on that piece of land. But remember, the Palestinians had been there for thousands of years at least. Someone has been in a place for 1,000 years. How dare you come and say, get away? This is my land. Someone has been there for 1,000 years. Someone has evidence he bought that land from somewhere. And then you tell them, get out of here. And then there is a solution which was called a 2-state solution, where you are going to have 2 states in one place. And these 2 states can be divided by boundary. And that would have worked, but it didn't. Because 1948, there is a war. They fight coming inside Palestine to have their place of Gaza. Their place of Israel. They must fight the Arabs. The Arabs combine to fight back. and they fight. Then there's the 6-day war that happened later on. And of course, in all these wars, Arabs are fighting Jews. They don't recognize them as their own cousin. But remember, when you go with history, the Jews and the Arabs are cousins. These are people cut from the same cloth. When you read their own books, these are all descendants of Abraham in a way. These are all descendants of Noah. These are all descendants of Isaac, Jacob, when you go by their holy books. I said there because these are not my books. These are their holy books. Now, these are children, Semitics, these are children cut from the same cloth. But these children will not sit down and share a piece of land. The Palestinians inside their hearts know that this land initially had Jews. But for 1,000+ years, the Jews were driven out. In fact, the Jews who remained, because some of them remained, about 200,000 were found there in 1948, were peaceful, were coexisting with the Palestinians. There was no trouble. Yasser Arafat, remember, told us that they used peacefully, they lived peacefully with the Jews. Then the question is, what happened? What happened to Yasser Arafat? What happened to the peace that existed partially in that area called Palestine vis-a-vis Israel? Now, I've been seeing a deterioration of peace. 1973, remember what happened? There was a war that Arab countries had ganged up to beat sense out of Israel. And Israel fought back like hell and hit them, hitting Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, Turkey, hit them on the head. Israel, one small country, hit all those countries around there and then submitted that we cannot manage fighting Israel. 1973. Now, since then, Israel continued to take more land, to take more land, to take more land. From who? From the Palestinians. And remember, these are brothers and sisters. These are sons and daughters cut from the same cloth. These are all Arabs. But some of these Arabs are Europeanized now. These Arabs have been intermarried with Europeans, with Africans. So these Arabs who form the Jews today are more intermarried. And in fact, if you want to research, go research, you will find out that today, as I speak, there haven't been anyone allowed to do a DNA in Israel because it would expose that these people actually are more Europeanized today than they were 1,000 years ago. There are more Russians, there are more Ukrainian, there are more Americans, there are more Briton in Israel who are Jews, rightfully so, but because of intermarriages, they are no longer the pure Jews they used to be 1,000 years ago. And it's understandable because they have been living outside this land for 1,000+ years. What do you expect? They have intermarried with everyone. They have intermarried with the Americans. They have intermarried with the Britons. They have intermarried with the Russians, Ukrainians. Most of these people are mixed people now. Now, if you are going to say you are going to do a DNA to find out the real Jew, you are going to find a mixture of Jews and Europeans. So now it's a problem. These are European Jews back home, but they don't want to hear anything to do with negotiation. And similarly, the Hamas don't want to hear anything to do with negotiation. And look, it's the politicians who are the problems here. Now, since 1973, they have been fighting to the extent that as I speak today, Gaza is completely a state where there is apartheid, where there are separate developments. People have to drive on different roads. You were Jew, you were an Israelite, different road. You were an Arab, different road. Which kind of environment is this one? Where since 2017, I think I remember correctly, since 2017, Israel has cut off all supplies to Gaza. whereby if someone wants to bring food to Gaza, must be cleared by Israel government since 2017. Medicine must be cleared by another government to clear food to come to this government, to clear anyone to come to this government or to this country or to this place. Israel must clear whoever enters into Gaza. Israel controls water system. Israel controls power, electricity. It is controlled by the Israelis. Now, people in Palestine don't have peace. They don't have rights. They are treated worse than animals. I've been saying this, that these guys are treated worse than animals. Now, which type of country is this one? Where two countries together cannot have peace. They are always fighting. Brian, I'm back. Yes, as you can see clearly, you can see from those images, people saying, not in my name, not in my name. Now, I was saying, I've been telling you the history of this conflict. Now, I want to bring you up to speed to show you what is happening right in Gaza. And I've just told you that since 1948, there haven't been peace in this territory, which was formerly entirely owned by Palestinians. And then, courtesy of the UN, it was divided, and then Israel given their own share, and a country called Israel is created in 1948. It never existed before 1947. Now, what's happening is terrible because what's happening, people are dying. Now, on the seventh day of October, um, Hamas, which is a political wing and a military wing of Gaza, attacked and killed innocent Jews, attacked and killed innocent Israelites who were having some bit of fun on a party, and killed over 500 people, and went on to kill so many people in the nearby villages. This was bad. We condemn this as Humans TV Africa. We condemn Hamas for attacking Israel, for killing innocent people of Israel. And in addition, for abducting over 250 people, including young children, pregnant women, old women, and men. Hamas took them where? In the tunnels of Gaza, underground. What happened from that very day, 7th day of October, 4 weeks ago? Israel began bombing immediately. And this bombing is indiscriminate. This bombing attacks everyone. Now, this is how bad this whole thing is. Because the bombing attacks everyone, the bombing does not discriminate. Everyone is attacked, everyone is affected. Now, what happens is that between 7th October and today, which is 4 weeks, statistics show that 10,000, and they are saying at least 10,000 people in Gaza, not West Bank, in Gaza, have been killed. By who? By the IDF, by the Israel Defense Forces, commanded by Benjamin Netanyahu, supported by the American government. They have killed over 10,000 Palestinians. But to make matters worse, 50% of the dead are children below 10 years. Now, Dr. Ashraf Al-Qadr, the Minister of State of Gaza, has just said that at least 25,000 Palestinians are critically injured. At least 25,000 Palestinians are critically injured, meaning they don't have an arm, they don't have eyes, they don't have legs, their intestines are out. Why? They have been bombed to carpet. The target of IDF Israel is to bomb Gaza to carpet, to wipe people of Gaza off the face of the earth. Remember, these are children we are talking about. Remember, these are children we are talking about. These are children being killed by the defense forces of Israel. As we speak now, researchers are saying that tens of thousands of Palestinians are trapped under the rubble. I've been sharing photos of children being picked below surface, under the rubble. Women, children, old people are trapped under the rubble. And the world is watching. And the world is watching, watching, and watching silently. The world is watching. Meanwhile, a genocide. Meanwhile, another form of Holocaust. I told you Hitler killed 6 million Jews. Today, the IDF is killing Palestinians. And to make matters worse, the IDF and Netanyahu and the politicians in Israel are calling the people of Gaza animals. They call them not human beings, they call them animals. Now, as a human rights defender, as a lawyer who has practiced human rights, I feel offended if anyone calls another human being animals. And to make matters worse, the people of Gaza are treated less than animals. They are not given food. Remember, Israel controls their food. They don't have electricity. They don't have medical supplies. They have run out of necessities. And at the same time, every day, Israel is raining bombs on Gaza every day. And the entire world is watching. Now, if you don't know how bad human beings can be, let the recent example in Gaza tell you how bad humans can be. People are getting killed in thousands each day. 10,000 plus are feared dead, and over 25,000 are trapped under rubble, which means they are also dying. And research has shown that actually 1 month ago, Gaza had only 600,000 people, not even a million people. Now, it means that half of the 600,000 people in Gaza who were there last month before the attack, they are dead right now. And the world is watching. Now, we are Humanist TV. Do you expect a Humanist TV to simply praise Israel for killing Palestinians? Come on. Do you expect us to come here and praise Benjamin Netanyahu for killing innocent children? When every time you are watching television with children suffering, with children dying, children and pregnant women, tens of thousands, no water, no food, no electricity, no medicine. And the army is planning. They have surrounded Gaza. They call it encirclement. They call it besiegement. They have surrounded Gaza with guns firing. Guns firing. They are going to destroy everyone in Gaza. Now, we want to call upon the people of the world to join peacemakers, to join the clarion call we are making here at Humanist TV, that please stop the genocide in Gaza. Please stop the ethnic cleansing in Gaza. These are your brothers. You cannot kill them all. You are creating more terrorists. You are creating more Hamas. Stop bombing. Stop bombing. Stop bombing the people of Gaza. Tens of thousands are dying of starvation. Tens of thousands are dying below the rubble. Rubble are falling houses, beaten flats, which are down. And every day, tons and tons of bombs go to Gaza. I can tell you this. Ukraine has been at war for 1 year and 8 months. Check it. Ukraine has been at war for 1 year and 8 months. I think I'm correct. 1 year, 8 months. Now, the number of people killed in Ukraine in 1 year and 8 months is less than the number of people killed in Gaza in 1 month. I repeat this. The number of people killed in Ukraine in 1 year and 8 months is below the number of people killed in Gaza in 1 month. What will happen if this conflict takes only 2 months? They are going to wipe the entire population of Gaza. And we are here watching. We are here watching Biden sponsoring Israel with hundreds of billions of taxpayers' money Americans' money. Americans are not endorsing this war. Americans are saying stop the genocide. And we are watching Biden sponsoring IDF and Benjamin Netanyahu to kill innocent people in Gaza. Now, I always tell you that people die in Africa and no one cares. Now, look at the example of Gaza. People die in Gaza, and literally, powerful governments keep quite wide. They're in the same bed with Israel. They practically fear to talk about this. Yet, Jews are very peace-loving people. Jews are very peace-loving people. Jews have risen up in the UK. Jews have risen up in America. Jews have risen up all over the world to say, not in our name. I've just been running images, I've seen them, and I'm going to continue showing you images. Jews are saying, don't kill Palestinians. Whatever you do, you are not doing it in our name. They are saying, not in our name. At Humanist TV Africa, we are saying, stop the killing, stop the bombing, stop the besiegement, stop the war. Go back on table and talk peace. Find a solution. Stop the bombing of these innocent people. Brian, please let us play those images and then we shall conclude this show. Look at that image. The whole world is watching. These are Jews. The t-shirts are saying, not in our name. These are Jews who say, not in our name. Look at that bombing. Look at how Gaza is being terrorized. Look at how Gaza is being terrorized. Look at people crying, people crying, people crying. They're saying, stop the bombing. Stop the bombing. These are Jews. I've picked this from Voices of Peace, Jewish Voices of Peace. Jews are peaceful people. Now you can see the rise of hate. People burning the flags of Israel. Why? Because people think Israel is the enemy. No, Israel is not the enemy. The enemy is Benjamin Netanyahu. The enemy is Biden. The enemy is Biden. The enemy is Benjamin Netanyahu. The enemy is IDF. The enemy are the politicians. The enemy is Hamas. Look at these Israelites with their guns, ready to go. Look at the child burnt. Look at those images. They are terrible images that shows you how bad the entire situation is. Look at that place raised down. There were buildings all over there. Look, there's only one flat surviving. Palestinian survivors of the Israel bombs. Look at women and children running out of Gaza. Look at the women and children running out of Gaza. Look at women holding their dead children. How do you account for this? This is the president of Palestine. Abbas, of course, is the first president. Hasn't been helped. They are trying to broker peace. There's no peace. Brian, more photos, please. Very fast, please. Look at Israel bombing Palestine. Look what their army besieging, surrounding Gaza. They are besieging. They are surrounding Gaza. This is Ramaphosa in Cairo this week. Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, in Cairo this week. They are trying to broker peace. They are trying to talk peace. Arab countries are saying, stop the war. You don't need to be a Muslim to stand for Palestine. You just need to be humane. This is the message Humanist TV is passing. You don't need to be a Muslim to stand with Palestine. We stand with Palestine. We stand with Israel. We stand with Palestine. We stand with Israel. We are saying, stop the war. Stop bombing Hamas. Stop bombing Israel. Israel, IDF, stop bombing Gaza. We are saying, let us have peace. Then, Brian, please run these images. Look at that image. Look at the fire. That is Gaza under a bomb attack. Remember Al-Aqsa? These are people, these are American Jews American Jews are saying stop the bombing. American Jews don't support Biden. The whole world is watching. Palestinians need life, These are Jews for peace. These are Jews saying not in our name. Jewish people are peaceful people. They are saying not in our name. Palestinians should be free. These are Jews in America. They are saying, Biden, you are not doing it in our name. Stop killing Palestinians. Cease fire now. These are Jews. I'm trying to show you. Jews, Israel people, Jews are saying, don't kill Palestinians. These are our cousins. These are our brothers. Cease fire now. Cease fire now. This is what we are seeing on the screen. Cease fire now. The whole world is watching. Cease fire now. This is what we are saying at Humanitarian Africa. Cease fire now. Jews say cease fire now. Jews are peaceful people. They are saying cease fire. No, this image of the dove with a symbol of peace was drawn on the wall of Gaza. A Gazanian, a Palestinian artist drew that image to show Americans, to show IDF, to show Netanyahu that we don't want war, we want peace in Gaza. This is peace. That dove is on the wall in Palestine, in Gaza. Now look at these images of the buildings being beaten into rubble. It has become a graveyard. It has become a graveyard. It is a theater of death. Gaza has become a theater of death. Look at the guns. IDF, the military force of Israel, Israel Defense Forces, have got big and small guns, all ammunitions, thanks to American government, thanks to Biden giving them money to buy guns. Cease fire now. Look at this image. Brian, leave this image for 1 minute. I want people to see, whoever is going to view this video, I want you to remember that child. His mother is dead. This child's mother is dead. This child's hands and clothes and face is full of blood of his mother. And the boy is raising his hand to say, don't shoot. Look at this boy. Which image are you sending in the mind of this child? You have killed his mother. He is full of blood and tells you, don't shoot. I don't know if this boy survived. I cannot tell. But when I saw this image, I became so sad. Viewers, look at this image once again. This boy, his mother is down there dead. Shot by who? Shot by Benjamin Netanyahu and Biden. Shot by who? Shot by Biden and Benjamin Netanyahu, who are doing these orders. And the child is saying, stop shooting. Don't shoot me. My mother is dead. Look at the child's hand, full of blood. Look at the child's face, full of blood. This boy is a Palestinian. This boy is innocent. But which image are you living in the head of this boy? This boy, if he turns out to be Hamas tomorrow, are you going to blame this boy? When you terrorize this boy at the age of 4 or 3, you killed his mother. He was pleading, don't shoot. This boy's image. I want people who are supporting Israel to kill to remember this image. I want people who are supporting Israel to kill to always remember the image of this boy with the blood in his hand, the blood of his dead mother down there. His mother is dead. The boy is full of blood and says, don't shoot. Stop shooting us. We are not animals. We are human beings. Brian, this image has been on my mind ever since I came across it. And I said, what if this was my child and I'm dead, and says, don't shoot? Brian, let us end this show on this note. Brian, these are images of, you can see the rubble. You can see the mayhem happening in Gaza. You can see the bombs killing people in Gaza. As I said, tens of thousands are feared dead. And each day, Gaza continued to receive bombs. Look at people who are desperate, got from rebels. Remember, Israel has encircled them and surrounded them. They're like rats in a cage. Israel has put Gazanians in a cage and keeps on poking them with bombs, thanks to Biden, who is giving them money to kill Palestinians. Brian, back to me with one statement. Back to me. This has been 9th November. Always remember this day when I've made this video, where I've told you, stop killing Palestinians, stop killing Jews, stop killing Israelis. Hamas must stop killing Israelis. Israel must stop killing Palestinians. These are politicians killing innocent people. One last statement I'm going to make. Japan was hit by a bomb in Nagasaki, Hiroshima. You remember that bomb? The havoc of that bomb is less than the mayhem caused by the bombs of Israel in 4 weeks. The bombs of Israel on the land of Gaza has done much harm than the bomb put on Hiroshima and Nagasaki many years ago. The bombs in Israel are far more. I've just told you, look at the research, that the number of people killed in Ukraine in 18 months, in 1 year and 8 months, is less than the number of people killed in Gaza in only 4 weeks. Now, if this is not a genocide, now if this is not Holocaust revised, if this is not Holocaust revised, I don't know what it is. I'm calling upon Biden to stop funding Netanyahu to kill innocent people in Gaza. I'm calling upon Hamas to lay their guns down and call for peace. I'm calling upon Hamas to exchange prisoners. I'm calling upon IDF, Netanyahu, and these people to exchange prisoners, to sit down and stop the madness and stop the war. This is Human TV Africa. The program is Human Rights Watch, a case for Gaza. Today, it was Kato Mukasa. On the set was Brian Kabeko in the studio, based in Kenya. I'm saying stay safe, stay positive, keep hope alive, and keep speaking the truth to power. This is Human TV Africa. I sign out. See you in the next one.